I've been curious about what everyone thinks one of their like defining moments of the season is, but I thought it'd be kind of fun if we could have the other queens answer that for each queen. So if we start with Heidi, I'm wondering, Widow and Aiden, what do you think Heidi's defining moment of the season is?
I would have to go with, I'm going to have to go with her moment in Untucked when we were having that big old fight and she came out there and F you, F you, F you. That's the moment that comes to my mind first anytime I think about the season.
Understandably.
And for me, it was the moment when Heidi decided to start calling other bitches out for talking about how she looked. She was like, look, I don't need none of y'all approval. I look good.
So basically, because Heidi's so sweet, any moment that she wasn't necessarily that was the moment we remember.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Maybe that's why those stood out so much, but
Probably.
who can forget? At the end of the day, it doesn't.
At the end of the day.
So let's go to Widow. Heidi, what do you think Widow's defining moment is?
Okay, her defining moment was definitely, oh honey, that moment when she did that jump, turn into a split on the stage on the rap challenge. That was, when I think of Widow on season 12, that is the first thing that pops into my head. Just bam.
Jaw drops, for sure.
That was her letting everybody know she meant business this time around, honey. She was coming to slap.
I'm going to have to go to something similar, but it was more so the neck cracking when she was getting ready for her lip sync and she's just like, I was like, oh, okay, she is about to slay this. Like, I will always remember that.
Somebody right now. That was intense too.
Yeah, a good
part where you
moment.
don't see, but she threw those EW earrings just.
They're still intact. They're still intact.
They
They're the
survived
only
the
jewelry
top.
that didn't break.
That's so funny. All right, let's move on to Aiden. Heidi.
Oh goodness. Oh my God. It was, oh Jesus. Her defining moment. There's a defining moment and there's a defining object. The defining object is that wig.
Long live the wig.
Long live the wig. But the defining moment I feel like was when she was exiting, I will not leave as the quiet bitch.
I would say the defining moment was when Aiden started coming back at the other girls that were trying to like bring her down and untuck before Heidi jumped in. I was like, oh yes, bitch, she has finally got something to say.
That's T2.
I mean, I have so much sympathy for you all because this season has been so odd with the quarantine. Like, we don't get to go on this tour. And I mean, beyond not being out and seeing the fans in person, has it changed the way you look at yourself, I guess, just being in this sort of vacuum, watching the season back?
Well, I'll be the first to say, because of my situation where I started as sort of a bedroom queen, kind of just not much has changed, which isn't ideal necessarily because you don't go on Drag Race to continue doing the same damn thing, but I'm just taking it day by day and taking it for what it is and enjoying that I do have a platform now, even if I'm stuck at home currently. So just looking forward to getting back out there.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I definitely feel like my body is not as limber as it used to be since I ain't been bending and stretching and moving, just sitting on the couch watching TV. And but watching the season back and seeing like my powerful messages and getting all the response back from fans who are like, you helped me realize this and this and that. It's been amazing. So I'm very thankful.
Yes. For me, I look back and the thing I look back at the most and see is there's been a growth and change in who I am. Like, I remember looking back on the first episode or two, I'll just see how insecure and how nervous I was going into it, and how much I've grown and changed since then is incredible. And also the makeup's gotten better, just so happened to get better too. So
Yes.
Double win.
Yeah, it looks great, I gotta say. What's the strength of coming into this challenge from a small town and not having the same big stage that some of these other queens might have?
You want me to go first?
Go for it, yeah.
I would say I would say, first of all, the strength of it is that it kind of, at least for me, for me, it was something that kind of forced me to rely on myself. I didn't have anybody else to rely on. It was me, myself, and I. And if there's a will, there's a way. So coming into a competition like that, it was good to at least have that aspect of things, knowing that, like, at the end of the day, if nobody else was like on my side, I was on my own side. So, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course.
Honestly, I think a strength from coming from a small town is you go in and you don't have the weight of being from a big city on your shoulders. Like some queens come in, they're like, well, I'm from New York, I'm from LA, I'm from wherever, and they feel that weight just like weighing them down. They feel like they have to do well to represent that so well. So we from small towns, we go into it without that kind of perspective and that weight, and I feel like it gives us more of an opportunity to be free and more just ourselves and flow with it, you know.
Yeah, less of an image to hold up to. You know, you're coming into this building something brand new, basically. So
Exactly.
Totally, that makes sense. Widow, do you have thoughts on that?
I mean, I came from Kansas City, which isn't, as small as the cities that these two lovelies come from. And, only weight that I had on my shoulder was, am I holding my brand as Widow Von Du as high as I see it in, my mind? And so that's, because I knew either way the city was going to be proud of me because I got on the show. It was now, am I going to be proud of me for doing the best that I've done?
Totally. I totally get that. Definitely. Heidi, the whistle. The whistle is iconic.
What whistle?
Oh, I think that was it. Now,
what whistle are you talking about?
How can, I don't have the gorgeous gap. Like, what's the secret? How do I make that happen? I think the gap is essential to that, right?
I mean, the gap is definitely essential. It truly is. I think my gap is more popular than I am in parts of the world. And but you just have to really just suck in all the air, just blow it right back out, and just so nicely, and just make sure you gotta stay soft and supple lips. You have to have those soft and supple lips to really make it just.
We could knock out one of your teeth to make it possible if you really want to.
Yeah.
Cheating, yeah. You can.
Which celebrity guest judge impacted you the most?
Oh, honey, it was definitely the moment of like everything. Like I got to meet Chaka Khan, and granted, no, I did not want to lip sync in front of her, but come on now, I also got to lip sync a Chaka Khan song in front of Chaka Khan. That was, it touches me in places that I can't speak about right now.
Well.
Yes.
But it's and it was everything. And also me being an entertainer, I usually just do songs that are dancing and upbeat, and I do flips and splits and tricks and shit like that. And to be serving a lip sync in a gown was definitely something completely different for me. And then watching it back, I was like, oh bitch, they couldn't tell you shit.
Oh yeah, you killed it in that. It was a great look. Aiden, who is the judge that you look back on most fondly from the season?
I would have to say Leslie Jones, simply because she was that one judge who, when she came backstage, really just kind of had something to say to me, and wanted to like help me out and get me in a better mind space. And she gave me a big hug and a kiss. So yeah.
Aw. And Heidi?
I love Leslie. I did her in Snatch Game. She's definitely up there. But I think my number one would have to be she's not Miss anything. Whoopi Goldberg. Oh my God. She just has this air about her that just calms the room, and when she speaks, it's wisdom flowing, and it's just so amazing. And she's so helpful. Like in the like when she was helping us get ready for the One Woman Show, even though I went home, the One Woman Show, she still had such amazing advice. Like even though my show hadn't been the best, it wouldn't have been nearly as good without that advice. And then also I remember the incident when I went out to go do my lip sync. I was feeling awfully down, and I looked at the judge's panel with my head held down, and I had my eyes just came up, and she's like, "Keep your head up." And I was like, so that moment sticks with me throughout everything.